Have you ever wondered about the journey of your canine companion? Scientifically known as Canis lupus familiaris, dogs are now the most numerous carnivores on Earth. They come in various shapes and sizes, found all around the globe. Dogs were the first species to be domesticated by humans, with a relationship that dates back around 15,000 years. However, the history and evolution of dogs, as well as the timeline of their domestication, remain subjects of debate among scientists. We know that dogs descended from wolves, and scholars and geneticists have extensively investigated canines to pinpoint when the first dog appeared on Earth. Archaeological evidence and DNA analyses suggest that the Bonn-Oberkassel dog is the oldest known example of a dog. Its remains, including a right jawbone, were discovered in a basalt quarry in Oberkassel, Germany, in 1914. Initially misclassified as a wolf, it was later identified as a dog, buried alongside two humans around 14,220 years ago. However, other theories suggest that dogs could be even older. Many experts agree that the separation of dogs from wolves occurred approximately 16,000 years ago in Southeast Asia. The ancestors of modern dogs might have emerged in the regions corresponding to present-day Nepal and Mongolia, during a time when humans were still living as hunter-gatherers. Additional evidence indicates that around 15,000 years ago, the first dogs spread from South and Central Asia to the rest of the world, accompanying humans on their migrations. There are also signs that hunting camps in Europe housed canines known as Paleolithic dogs, which appeared around 12,000 years ago. These dogs had distinct morphological and genetic traits compared to the wolves inhabiting Europe at that time. Quantitative analysis of these fossils indicates that these dogs had skulls similar to those of Central Asian shepherd dogs. While the Bonn-Oberkassel dog is considered the first confirmed dog, it's possible that the history of dogs goes back even further. However, until more evidence is uncovered, it's challenging to pinpoint the exact moment when dogs definitively diverged from their wolf ancestors. The timeline of the relationship between dogs and humans is also a point of contention. What is widely accepted among scientists and canine geneticists is that the domestication of dogs by humans occurred between 9,000 and 34,000 years ago, a timeframe so broad it's difficult to pinpoint. More recent studies suggest that the domestication of dogs may have begun between 6,400 and 14,000 years ago, when an ancestral wolf population split into Eastern and Western Eurasian wolves, being domesticated independently, resulting in two distinct populations of dogs before wild wolves became extinct. This theory of separate domestications supports the idea that dogs were domesticated in two distinct events. Dogs that remained in Eastern Eurasia may have been domesticated by Paleolithic humans in southern China, while other dogs accompanied human tribes westward to Europe. Genetic studies indicate that the mitochondrial genomes of all modern dogs are most closely related to European canines. The domestication of dogs was also influenced by the rise of agriculture. Evidence for this includes the presence of genes in modern dogs that allow them to digest starch, a trait absent in wolves. The unique relationship between humans and dogs has been extensively studied, dating back to when humans began living in groups. An early theory suggests that the symbiotic and mutualistic relationship between the two species began when humans migrated to colder regions of Eurasia. Paleolithic dogs began to emerge during this period, developing shorter skulls, cranial boxes, and broader muzzles compared to their wolf ancestors. These shorter muzzles resulted in fewer teeth, possibly due to human efforts to reduce aggression in dogs. The ancestors of modern dogs enjoyed numerous benefits from living close to humans, such as greater security, a steady food supply, and better reproductive opportunities. In return, humans, with their upright posture and superior vision, helped locate predators and prey over wider areas. There's a hypothesis that, in the early Holocene, around 10,000 years ago, humans would have selected wolf pups with more docile and friendly behaviors to breed. These pups, as they grew, became valuable hunting companions, helping to track and retrieve wounded prey as human tribes settled in Europe and Asia during the last ice age. The keen sense of smell of dogs was also a great aid in hunting. Beyond hunting, dogs proved useful around camps, consuming food scraps and offering warmth by cuddling up to humans. Australian Aborigines, for example, used the expression three-dog night to describe nights so cold that one would need 3 dogs to stay warm. These early dogs were valued members of hunter-gatherer societies, often given their own names and considered part of the family. Moreover, they were used as pack animals. Some studies suggest that dogs domesticated in the region corresponding to present-day Siberia were selectively bred as sled dogs around 9,000 years ago, helping humans migrate to North America. The ideal weight for these dogs, between 20 and 25 kilograms, for efficient thermoregulation, is similar to the modern standard for the Siberian Husky breed. While it may seem that humans valued dogs only for utilitarian reasons, research indicates that emotional bonds between humans and dogs began to form at the end of the Pleistocene, around 12,000 years ago. This is evidenced by the case of the Bonneoberkassel dog, who was buried with humans, even though at that time, dogs did not have an obvious practical use. The Bonneoberkassel dog likely received intensive care to survive, as pathology studies suggest it suffered from distemper as a puppy. This points to the presence of symbolic or emotional bonds between this dog and the humans it was buried with. Regardless of the exact history of dog domestication, one thing is certain: dogs have learned to adapt to human needs. They became more respectful of social hierarchies, recognizing humans as pack leaders, becoming more obedient compared to wolves, and developing the ability to control their impulses. Additionally, dogs adjusted their barking to communicate more effectively with humans. Dogs continued to play a crucial role in human societies even as ancient civilizations emerged. In addition to being loyal companions, they became significant cultural figures. In regions such as Europe, the Middle East, and North America, depictions of dogs hunting animals have been found on walls, tombs, and scrolls. These animals were often buried alongside their owners around 14,000 years ago, and statues of dogs were placed to guard crypts. In China, dogs have always held great importance, being the first animals domesticated by this culture. Considered gifts from heaven, they were believed to have sacred blood, which made canine blood essential in oaths and alliances. Dogs were also sacrificed to ward off bad luck and keep diseases in check. Additionally, dog-shaped amulets carved in jade were worn for personal protection. Dog collars and pendants have been found in ancient Sumer and ancient Egypt, where dogs were seen as companions of the gods. In these societies, dogs were allowed to roam freely and protected herds and properties. Canine amulets were carried as protective talismans, and small dog figurines made of clay were buried under buildings. The Sumerians also believed that dog saliva had medicinal properties that promoted healing. In ancient Greece, dogs were highly valued as guardians and hunters. The Greeks invented the spiked collar to protect dogs' necks from predators. The philosophical school of cynicism, for example, derives its name from the Greek word kynikos, meaning dog-like. In Greek texts and art, 4 main types of dogs can be distinguished: the Laconian, used for hunting deer and hares; the Molossus; the Cretan, likely a cross between the Laconian and the Molossus; and the Melidian, a small, long-haired lap dog. In ancient Rome, laws mentioned dogs as guardians of homes and herds, being more valued than other domestic animals, such as cats. Additionally, dogs were seen as protectors against supernatural threats. It was believed that a dog barking at the air was alerting its owners to the presence of spirits. Just as in China and Greece, the Mayan and Aztec cultures also associated dogs with divinity and used them in rituals and religious ceremonies. In these cultures, dogs served as guides for souls in the afterlife, deserving the same respect as elders. In Norse culture, dogs had a strong bond with humans. Excavations in Norse cemeteries have revealed more dog remains than in any other culture, and dogs pulled the chariot of the goddess Frigg, serving as protectors of their masters even after death. According to legend, warriors would reunite with their loyal dogs in Valhalla. Throughout history, Dogs have always been portrayed as faithful guardians and companions of humans, fitting to be associated with the gods. Over the years, humans have selectively bred dogs for favorable traits, such as size, herding abilities, and a keen sense of smell. Hunter-gatherers, for example, would choose wolf pups that were less aggressive toward people. With the advent of agriculture, herding and guard dogs emerged, bred to protect farms and herds and capable of digesting a starch-rich diet. Distinct dog breeds seem to have been identified around 3,000 to 4,000 years ago, but most of the current breeds were established during the Roman period. The earliest dogs were likely working dogs, used for hunting, herding, and guarding. Crossbreeding aimed to increase speed, strength, and enhance senses like sight and hearing. Hunting dogs, such as the Saluki, possessed sharp hearing and keen eyesight, enabling them to track and chase down prey. Mastiff-type dogs were prized for their large, muscular bodies, making them excellent hunters and guardians. Artificial selection over millennia has greatly diversified the dog population, resulting in numerous breeds, each with uniform observable traits, such as size and behavior. The Fédération Cynologique Internationale, or World Canine Organization, currently recognizes over 300 distinct breeds, classified into 10 groups, including herding dogs, terriers, and companion and toy dogs. Some dog breeds are also considered native breeds, meaning dogs bred without concern for specific breed standards. These breeds have a more diverse appearance compared to standardized breeds. Examples of native breeds include the Scotch Collie, the Welsh Sheepdog, and the Indian Pariah Dog. Today, the unique bond between dogs and humans continues to grow stronger. Dogs have evolved to meet human needs and play indispensable roles in society. Some of the most common uses for dogs today include service and assistance dogs. For centuries, dogs have proven to be more than just hunters and guardians. In the 1750s, they began being trained as guides for the visually impaired at a blind hospital in Paris. German Shepherds were used during World War I as ambulance and messenger dogs. With the return of thousands of soldiers blinded by mustard gas, dogs were trained en masse to serve as guides for veterans, a practice that spread to the United States. Police and rescue dogs. Canine dogs assist police forces in searching for explosives and drugs, investigating crime scenes, and locating missing persons. Search and rescue dogs are widely used in mass casualty disasters, such as the 9/11 attacks, and can track people lost in snow or water. Designer dogs. The creation of designer dogs gained popularity in the late 20th century when the poodle was crossbred with other breeds, resulting in dogs with hypoallergenic coats and high intelligence. A famous example is the Labradoodle, a cross between a Labrador Retriever and a poodle, developed in Australia in the 1970s to help people with disabilities and allergies. Dogs have come a long way since the days when they fed on scraps in early human tribes. The natural history of dogs remains an active field of study among scholars. Recent genetic studies suggest that the direct ancestors of dogs are extinct, making it challenging to pinpoint the exact origin of the canine species. Various theories exist about dog domestication, including the hypothesis that two groups of dog-like animals were domesticated in different locations at different times. Throughout history, dogs have not only been hunters, but have also protected homes and livestock and provided loyal companionship. Today, they play vital roles in assisting people with disabilities and ensuring community safety. Without a doubt, dogs continue to prove that they are truly man's best friend. If you enjoyed learning about the incredible journey of dogs and their role in our lives, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your friends. Your support helps us bring you more content like this.